Good day, everyone. This is Mark Schmidt, Superintendent of Schools, with my annual update regarding last night's board meeting, the previous night, which was April 18th, 2011. Happy spring, everyone. I think we can all be thankful that we're not getting the snow up here. Hopefully we don't get the snow up here that they're getting down south today. Last night's board meeting began as usual with the consent agenda. We did not have anyone wishing to present to the board last evening. Financial items involved the update from Mr. Moore on our investments, as well as seeking bids for dairy and bread and petroleum. Those are annual activities we do to seek bids for those products for the upcoming school year's lunch program. The board also approved a budget reduction and revenue possibilities, and that you will see as an attachment on the email that you have received from me. If you're a staff member, we'll probably post those on Facebook if you're someone from the public on the school's Facebook page. But if you take a look at the budget sheet on adjustments we are making, there's probably about 10 items on there, 3 of which have dollar amounts to those, and I will touch bases on those 3. It is the PSCO contract revision, which is a savings of $20,000. That's a contract that we've renegotiated with Central Lakes College to save on our PSCO agreement. The next one is a reduction of a staff member. This staff member is a English position at the high school, and what will happen is that Tracy Riggs will be moving to the middle school, replacing Sandy Opheim, who will then be going to the elementary, which is a fill-in for the retirement of Karen Holmberg. And we wish Karen Holmberg the best of luck and a happy retirement, as later in the agenda the board approved her retirement. One of our goals is to take advantage of any reductions through attrition we can make, as that is far better for people than putting people on unrequested leave of absence or terminating them when it comes time to budgetary considerations. The other thing that we adjusted was a expenditure in our online lab of a reduction of $5,000, and that is going to be to exclusively use our Central Minnesota Online Consortium resources for online. Other various items, there is one in particular that I'll touch bases on the list, which is creation of an ALP program at the high school, and that is an attempt to retain students that are normally going to the Alternative Learning Center, and I'll touch bases on that in a little bit. Another attachment that you have on the email is our revenue and expenditure comparisons. And what we did is we took a look at last year's actual expenditures, this year's budgeted amount, and next year's projected amount. And we tried to use last year's actuals and build from there for next year's projection. And when we did that, I won't go through all the lines on here, but when we did that, you will see that we have a range of a deficit of anywhere from potentially $250,000 to $133,000 going into next year. If you compare that with the numbers that the items that I just read to you on budget reductions, that those only equal $99,000. The reason that we did not recommend to the board to either cut $133,000 or as much as $250,000 is really twofold. One of them is a goal to be able to attract more revenue, namely through the potential creation of an ALP program, and there's other revenue options that we're looking out there, and perhaps like the video conferencing to deliver courses and those type of things, and I won't get into those at this time. But that's why we did not reach that 133 to 250 mark. Another reason would be is that we have some fund balance, and if we need to tap into fund balance for a little bit going into next year, we figure we have some cushion, and that's one of the advantages of having a fund balance, so that we don't have to make cuts at a level that would be harmful to adults and students, and we can do it at a more gradual pace. Excuse me. So that was approved by the board, and you can refer to those documents if you choose. We are pleased to announce, further on in the budget was the approval of going with Coca-Cola as an exclusive vendor for our concessions. And Coca-Cola, we had entertained offers from both Coca-Cola and Pepsi, and Coca-Cola by far came out with the more favorable financial offering for the district. And those dollars will be designated for various student activities or perhaps improvements throughout the buildings for student activities or things that are going on. Excuse me. As I had mentioned, we thank Karen Holmberg for her many years of service and wish her a happy retirement as she has submitted her letter of retirement. We are pleased to announce that Paul Mattoon and Eric Johnson are going to be co-head football coaches going into next season. So welcome aboard, or congratulations, Paul and Eric, on your new head coaching position, and looking forward to a great season with those two individuals leading the helm in our football program. Another agenda item was a personnel item to post for our activities director, and what used to be a dean of students, however, that is being renamed as a success coordinator, and this is an annual posting excuse me, that we do every year. A difference on this is changing it from a 2/3 position to a 1 FTE, and the intent of that is to begin to utilize this position as well as other teaching staff within the high school to retain students that would normally be going to the ALC. For example, this year we have 30 ADM students from the high school going to the ALC, and just looking at general fund revenue, that is $199,000, not including compensatory. If you added compensatory onto these students, you could probably be pushing upwards around of $250,000 in lost revenue for those students leaving. And these are kids that necessarily don't want to leave, and particularly students that are struggling with credit recovery, and that really currently under our system we don't have a way for them to catch up on their credits, and that leaves ALC as an option for them, and we'd like to be able to build that option within our system and be able to retain them. So it's going to be a combination of this staff member, which is an addition of, I believe, about $23,000 to go from 2/3 to 1 FTE, but our intent is to be able to recoup far more than that $23,000 in retaining students within our high school. Moving on, there is approval of a change for the next school year calendar. That change is going to be to take the Monday after MEA break and make that a teacher workshop day, and that student day would then be moved to the end of the school year, which would typically be the teacher workshop day. But instead of having a full day with students, that will be a partial day with students. Whether it's a half day or 2-hour early dismissal, we're going to have to sit down and work through what the best time of that would be. That Monday after MEA break is going to be a collaborative staff day with 2 area school districts, and those will be Sabika and Pillager. And we're going to have some teachers and principals getting together next Wednesday, as a matter of fact, to do some planning for that day. So we are pleased to be able to squeeze out a little more staff development time for our teachers and be able to not only collaborate with each other within the district, but be able to collaborate with other teachers in our area, as well as pull some of our staff development resources. The board also approved the calendar for 2012-2013. Both of these I will put as attachments onto this email, and we will have them posted on our Facebook page. With that, perhaps some other announcements. We are in the process of interviewing Motley principal candidates. That will take place next Tuesday and Wednesday. Thank you for the crew that reviewed credentials. We have it down to 10 candidates and are hoping to be able to have a candidate to bring to the board in May. We have also selected 2 people to lead our all-day, everyday early childhood endeavor, and those 2 individuals will be Sharon Swenson as well as Sarah Dregney. First step is to create a feasibility, or to conduct a feasibility study on the completion of that. And I would also like to welcome Bonnie Madsen to the district office, as she will be replacing Janelle Shriver as the superintendent's assistant. Thank you, everyone, and have a great day. Stay well.